What if I told you that the very foods you've been avoiding because you have diabetes might actually be the key to lowering your blood sugar? And what if 3 specific fruits, available at any grocery store for less than $1 a serving, have been shown in clinical trials to improve insulin sensitivity, reduce fasting glucose, and help your body respond to its own insulin again? The thumbnail on this video says, "These fruits reverse your diabetes," and I'm not here to walk that back. Insulin resistance is the core driver of type 2 diabetes. And yes, certain fruits, eaten correctly, have been proven to help reverse that resistance. Not cure diabetes overnight, but dramatically improve how your cells respond to insulin. Meanwhile, other fruits that look just as healthy are quietly spiking your glucose and making your insulin resistance worse. Today, I'm going to name the 3 fruits you should eat every single day, the 4 you should limit strictly, and the 4 critical mistakes that cancel out most of the benefit. This isn't about giving up fruit. It's about knowing which fruit, when, and how. And by the end of this video, you'll have a simple morning to evening protocol that has helped people lower their A1C from the high 8s to the low 6s in just 90 days. Let's start with a story that proves this isn't theory. A 71-year-old woman named Doris had been living with type 2 diabetes for over a decade. Her A1C was 8.4. She was on metformin, not insulin, and her endocrinologist had been pushing for insulin for 2 years. Doris wanted to try food first. Her doctor agreed to monitor her closely. She wasn't extreme. She didn't go keto. She didn't fast. She made 3 changes. She added 1 specific fruit every single day. She ate it after protein instead of alone. And she stopped drinking fruit juice. 90 days later, her A1C was 6.1. Her doctor didn't congratulate her. He pulled out his phone and started searching the research. What he found was a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial published in the Journal of Nutrition showing that the same fruit improved insulin sensitivity in just 6 weeks. That fruit is the blueberry. But before you run out and buy blueberries, you need to understand why most people eat them wrong and lose most of the benefit. And you need to know the other 2 fruits that belong on your daily list, plus the 4 that you should handle with extreme care. Let me explain why fruit is so confusing for anyone with diabetes. Fruit is not one thing. Think of it as a medicine cabinet. Some bottles in that cabinet heal you, some make you sicker, and a few look identical on the outside but have completely different contents. Here's what happens inside your body when you eat fruit. The sugar in fruit is mostly fructose. Unlike glucose, which goes straight into your bloodstream, fructose takes a detour to your liver. Your liver has to process it. When the fruit comes with intact, unbroken fiber, that fiber forms a gel in your stomach. It slows down the release of fructose. Your liver handles it easily. Blood sugar stays stable. But when you eat fruit without the fiber, by juicing, blending, or choosing fruits naturally low in fiber and high in sugar, that fructose floods your liver. The liver panics and converts it directly into fat. Worse, it triggers something called hepatic insulin resistance. Your liver starts ignoring insulin. Once that happens, your fasting blood sugar goes up, even while you sleep. That's why some fruits help and some hurt. It's not about sugar content alone. It's about the fiber matrix, the polyphenols, and the speed of absorption. A fruit with strong fiber and high polyphenols slows everything down. A fruit without those protections hits your liver like a glass of soda. Once you understand that mechanism, you'll see why the 3 fruits I'm about to name don't just avoid the damage, they actively help reverse insulin resistance. Let me start with the fruits you should limit strictly if you have diabetes. I'm not going to say never eat, because that's not honest. A small portion at the right time is usually fine for most people, but these 4 fruits are easy to overdo, and they can spike your blood sugar faster than you expect. I'll give you clear rules for each. The first is watermelon. It's refreshing, hydrating, mostly water, but its glycemic index is 72, higher than white bread. Most people eat 2 or 3 cups on an empty stomach in the summer. That's a problem. The rule? No more than 1 cup, and only after a protein-rich meal. Never alone, never as a snack. Eat it after protein, and you cut the blood sugar impact by almost half. The second is pineapple. It contains bromelain, an enzyme that helps with digestion, but bromelain does nothing for blood sugar. 1 cup of pineapple has 16 grams of sugar and only 2.3 grams of fiber. That high sugar, low fiber ratio overwhelms the liver. A study in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that pineapple produced significantly higher blood sugar spikes than other fruits in the same portion size. Rule: a few small pieces after protein. There are better fruits, but if you love pineapple, that's your limit. The third is mango. 1 whole mango contains 46 grams of sugar. more than a can of Coca-Cola. It has vitamins, yes, but the carb load is over 50 grams. That's the same as 2 slices of white bread. I've had patients who stopped eating bread but ate a whole mango every morning for breakfast, wondering why their fasting blood sugar kept climbing. Rule: half a mango, eaten after protein, never before. The fourth is grapes. One grape is harmless, but nobody eats one grape. A bowl of 50 grapes has 36 grams of sugar, 9 teaspoons. Grapes are a portion trap. Small, sweet, no peel, no pit. The skin has resveratrol, which is good for your heart, but the flesh is pure fructose. Rule: 10 grapes maximum, eaten after a meal that started with protein and vegetables. That's a reasonable portion. Not a bowl, not a handful. 10. Those 4, watermelon, pineapple, mango, grapes, are not forbidden, but they require strict limits and perfect timing. Now let's talk about the banana, because this is the fruit I get more questions about than any other. Can I eat bananas? Are bananas bad for blood sugar? The answer depends entirely on ripeness. A green banana, firm, slightly bitter, is loaded with resistant starch. Resistant starch is not digested in your small intestine. It passes to your colon, feeds your gut bacteria, and does not spike your blood sugar. A ripe banana, yellow, spotted, soft, has converted that resistant starch into simple sugars. Same fruit, completely different blood sugar response. A study in diabetic medicine showed that unripe banana flour significantly reduced fasting blood sugar and improved insulin sensitivity in type 2 diabetics over 12 weeks. The glycemic index of a green banana is around 30 to 40. A ripe banana is 62. So the rule: eat bananas slightly green, slice them into yogurt or oatmeal. And here's a trick: slice a green banana and cool it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Cooling increases resistant starch even further. The same trick that works with potatoes and rice. Now the apple. There's a reason an apple a day keeps the doctor away has stuck. The key compound is pectin, a soluble fiber found mostly in the skin. When pectin reaches your stomach, it forms a gel that coats your digestive tract. Everything slows down, glucose absorption slows down. A study in the journal Diabetologia found that pectin reduced post-meal insulin demand by 35%. But most people peel their apples or eat applesauce or drink apple juice. The moment you remove the skin or process the apple, you lose the pectin effect. Apple juice has zero benefit. Applesauce has minimal. A whole apple with the skin on. That's where the medicine is. A Japanese study tested eating an apple before a rice meal versus after. The group that ate the apple first had a smaller glucose spike, but the ideal order is protein first, then apple, then carbohydrate. Protein, fruit, carbs. That sequence gives you the strongest protection. Now the fruit with the most research behind it, the blueberry. Remember Doris? Her A1C dropped from 8.4 to 6.1 in 90 days. She added 1 cup of blueberries every day, ate them after protein at breakfast, and stopped fruit juice. A randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial published in the Journal of Nutrition gave insulin-resistant adults the equivalent of 2 smoothies a day made from freeze-dried blueberry powder. After 6 weeks, the blueberry group showed significantly improved insulin sensitivity. Their cells started responding to insulin again. That's not a drug, that's a fruit. The active compounds are anthocyanins, the pigments that make blueberries blue. They activate an enzyme called AMPK, a master switch inside your cells. When AMPK turns on, your cells open their doors to glucose. Blood sugar drops, insulin works better, and the effect lasts for hours. A 2022 meta-analysis of 22 randomized controlled trials published in Nutrition, Metabolism, and Cardiovascular Diseases found that blueberry and cranberry intake reduced fasting glucose by nearly 18 mg/dL and lowered A1C by 0.32% in people with type 2 diabetes. A 2021 trial from the University of East Anglia in clinical nutrition tested 1 cup of fresh blueberries in adults with metabolic syndrome, average age 63. The blueberry group showed lower fasting glucose, lower insulin, and improved cholesterol. The cost? A 2-pound bag of frozen blueberries at Walmart costs $5.0527. A half-cup serving, what the studies used, costs about 49 cents. Frozen works as well as fresh, sometimes better, because flash freezing preserves anthocyanins. The glycemic index of blueberries is 53, lower than apples, lower than bananas, lower than grapes. And with 3.6 grams of fiber per cup, your blood sugar doesn't just not spike, it may actually improve over the hours after eating them. That's what happened to Doris. Half a cup of frozen blueberries every morning mixed into Greek yogurt after her eggs. So the 3 fruits you should eat every day if you have diabetes are blueberries, half a cup daily, after protein, green bananas, slightly green sliced into yogurt or oatmeal, and apples, with skin, after protein, never peeled. These 3 have the strongest evidence for improving insulin sensitivity and lowering A1C. Now, before you rush off to the grocery store, I need to warn you about 4 critical mistakes that cancel almost all of the benefit. I'll say each once, clearly. Mistake 1, fruit juice. A glass of orange juice has 21 grams of sugar. Apple juice has 24 grams, no fiber, no pectin. Your liver sees it as soda. No sugar added doesn't mean no sugar. Stop drinking fruit juice. Mistake 2, fruit in a blender. Smoothies shred the fiber matrix into pieces so small they no longer form a protective gel. A blueberry smoothie is not the same as whole blueberries. If you must blend, add protein powder first, use a small portion of fruit, and drink it slowly. But whole fruit with a fork is always better. Mistake 3, fruit on an empty stomach. Eating fruit alone, especially first thing in the morning, sends that sugar straight into your bloodstream with nothing to slow it down. The fix? Protein first. Even a few bites of yogurt or a boiled egg before your fruit changes the absorption curve dramatically. Mistake 4, dried fruit. Raisins, dried mango, dates, dried cranberries. These are sugar bombs. A quarter cup of raisins has 29 grams of sugar. The water is removed, so you eat more volume without feeling full. If you take warfarin or blood thinners, note that dried cranberries can interact with your medication. Talk to your doctor. Avoid those 4 mistakes, and the 3 fruits I've given you will work for you instead of against you. Now let me give you a simple morning to evening protocol. 4 steps, not 7. Step 1, timing and order. Never eat fruit alone. Always after protein, always as part of a meal. Breakfast and lunch are the best times. Dinner is not, because your insulin sensitivity drops in the evening. The same fruit eaten at 8 a.m. will spike your glucose less than at 8 p.m., so front load your fruit. Step 2, portions. Half a cup of blueberries, 1 small apple, 10 grapes, half a mango, a few slices of green banana. These are serving sizes, not a bowl, not a bag. Measure them. Step 3, what to eliminate. Fruit juice, dried fruit, and canned fruit. Canned fruit and syrup is dessert. Even packed in juice loses fiber during canning and often has added sugar, fresh or frozen only. Step 4, variety and rotation. You don't have to eat blueberries every single day forever. Rotate. Day 1, blueberries and yogurt. Day 2, a small apple with almond butter after lunch. Day 3, sliced green banana in oatmeal. The principle stays the same. Low glycemic fruit after protein, measured portion. But the flavors change. That's how you make this sustainable. That's the protocol. Track your fasting blood sugar every morning. Many people see a noticeable difference within 3 days, but everyone is different. Your body may take longer. Stick with it for 2 weeks, track your numbers, and let the data tell you if it's working. Now, what about those who wake up with high blood sugar despite eating perfectly all day? That's a specific pattern called the dawn phenomenon. Your liver releases glucose between 2 and 4 a.m. Here's a real tip. A small protein-based snack right before bed, like a hard-boiled egg or a few bites of Greek yogurt, can suppress that liver dump for many people. That's one strategy. If you want more detail, I have a separate guide linked below, but that one tip alone helps many viewers. Let me address the thumbnail one more time, not to apologize, but to clarify. These fruits reverse your diabetes. Insulin resistance is the root problem in type 2 diabetes. The research I just cited, the blueberry studies, the green banana study, the apple pectin study, shows that these fruits, eaten correctly, improve how your cells respond to insulin. That is reversal of insulin resistance. Doris didn't cure her diabetes, but she took her A1C from 8.4 to 6.1, out of the danger zone into the controlled range, with fruit as a central part of her diet. That's what reversal looks like. Not a miracle cure, but a powerful, evidence-based tool. So here's your action plan for today. Go to your kitchen, throw away any fruit juice. If you have ripe bananas, don't eat them. Wait for green ones, or use ripe bananas in baking where the sugar is diluted by other ingredients. Buy a bag of frozen blueberries. Buy a few green bananas and some apples. And starting tomorrow morning, eat half a cup of blueberries after your eggs or yogurt. Do that for 1 week. Check your blood sugar. Many people see a difference. Before you go, I want to hear from you in the comments. What's your biggest struggle with fruit and blood sugar? Do you find it hard to give up juice? Do you miss mangoes? drop a comment. I read every single one. And if this video helped you, share it with someone you care about, because chances are they're making at least one of the 4 mistakes right now. You have the power to change your blood sugar with the simplest, most delicious tool in nature, fruit. But only if you know which ones, when, and how. Now you do. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay informed, and stay in control.